You can talk to people all day and still feel alone. But sit next to a dog for 10 minutes and somehow you feel understood. That shouldn't make sense. No words, no explanations, no advice. So why does it feel so real? And what does that say about the people around you? Met Mark. It's 11:47 p.m. He's lying on his bed, phone in his hand, staring at a message he just typed. Hey. I've been meaning to talk to you about something. He reads it once, twice, 3 times. Then deletes it. Types again. Deletes it again. Because in his head, there's a voice saying, what if this sounds weird? What if they misunderstand me? What if I say too much? So instead, he says nothing. Now fast forward 10 minutes. Mark puts his phone down, sighs, and his dog walks into the room. No words, no expectations. Just walks over and rests its head on his leg. And in that moment, Mark feels more understood than he did in that entire conversation he never had. And it's not just Mark. There's Sarah. At work. In a meeting. Everyone is talking, laughing, contributing ideas. But Sarah. She has something to say. A really good idea. She even rehearses it in her head. But when there's a pause, she stays quiet. Because one thought stops her, what if it doesn't come out right? So the meeting ends. Everyone leaves. And Sarah walks home, thinking about what she should have said. But later that evening, her cat jumps onto her lap. No expectations. No judgment. And suddenly, she doesn't feel small anymore. And here's the uncomfortable truth: this isn't really about animals. It's about what's missing in moments like that. Because when you're around people, you're not just existing. You're calculating. You're adjusting. Filtering. Editing yourself in real time. Every word, every reaction, feels like it matters too much. Think about how often this happens. You send a message, then, immediately regretted how it sounded. You replay conversations in your head. Hours later, you remember one sentence, and wish you had said it differently. You laugh, even when something isn't funny, just to fit in. That's exhausting. Not physically, emotionally. But with animals, there's no replay. No overthinking. No, I should have said this instead. You can sit there, in complete silence, and it doesn't feel awkward. You can be tired, quiet, even broken, and nothing changes. They don't move away. They don't treat you differently. They just stay. And here's where it gets deeper. Because of this feeling you're experiencing. It has a name. Emotional safety. It's the feeling of being accepted, without needing to perform. And once your brain experiences that, it starts craving it. Now compare that to most human relationships. People respond to how confident you sound, how interesting you are, how useful you seem, even if they don't mean to. There are conditions. But animals, there's no checklist. No standard you have to meet. You can be at your worst, and they don't leave. It's not that animals understand you better. It's that you've tried to be understood by people, and it didn't work. Not once. Not twice. But enough times that your brain stopped expecting it. So what happens next? You adapt. You start talking less, sharing less, opening up only when necessary. You become more careful, more guarded. Not because you want to, but because it feels safer. Imagine this. You finally open up to someone. You explain how you feel. Clearly. Honestly. And they respond with, "You're overthinking." Or worse, "It's not that deep." Pause, and just like that, you regret saying anything at all. But if you sit next to an animal in that same moment, they don't dismiss you. They don't minimize your feelings. They don't try to fix you. They just sit there. And somehow, that feels like enough. So the real reason you feel more understood by animals isn't because they're smarter, or more emotional, or more human than people. It's because they give you something that's becoming rare: effortless acceptance. But maybe this isn't about choosing animals over people. Maybe it's about realizing what you've been missing. Because there are people who won't make you feel like you have to perform, who won't make you second guess every word, who won't make you feel misunderstood. So maybe the real question isn't why animals understand you. Maybe it's this: how many times did people make you feel like they didn't?